There were 20,000 new documents that were released, and some of them were emails between Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, and the author Michael Wolff that was about Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump's relationship, in which, he was referred to Donald as Dirty Donald. They know his secrets. Donald Trump was around with these women, these victims. So some of these emails have been released, which is getting people, I think, strategically released to get people like, yes, we want it. But Donald Trump, despite campaigning and with some hesitation of, I guess I would do that, but there's a lot of fake stuff out there. He said he would release the Epstein files. Republicans have been just clamoring about the fact that it's all Democrats in these files. And we've talked about it before. It's like whoever's on the around about the files should be exposed. When people say oh, what about the Clintons? What about the Clintons? Oh, we don't give a
Do we think
take them down?
Do we think there's mercy for files and
we have no mercy.
There's no empathy.
Anyone who's on the list, goodbye.
And so when you see Republicans try to cover for Donald Trump and say it's all fake news or it's not real
then
or
release it,
then you have nothing to worry about. And if you really are that adamant and determined that Donald Trump is innocent, then it shouldn't matter if it's released. And then you can debunk it all you want from there. But he's on the flight logs. He's been was best friends for over 15 years. He was around. He knew about the girls being recruited because it was even included in one of these recent emails, because it says Donald knew about the girls that Ghislaine was recruiting from Mar-a-Lago. So this whole I'm innocent, I don't know anything, bull. But now Donald Trump is so just spiraling. He's in panic mode. He is desperate that he is now he's had meetings with Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, Todd Blanche, who got that nice cushion deal for Ghislaine Maxwell to be moved from a high security, maximum security prison to a low security prison.
with a service animal,
yoga, and just openly walk around the area in Texas. Now he's trying to have these meetings behind closed doors, emergency meetings, to get people like Nancy Mace, Lauren Boebert, and others to change their basically petition to say that they would vote yes to get it released. He is now trying to work behind the scenes to do that. And he even started, spiraling. He had 2 posts so far on True Social. One of the most recent one, the Democrats are trying to bring up the Jeffrey Epstein hoax again because they'll do anything to deflect how badly they done in the shutdown. But really, the Democrats could have held out for longer and fought it, but we've now put healthcare and these premiums and how people are struggling, SNAP benefits, at the headline news type of front. And so he's struggling. Now he posted again. In other words, the Democrats are using the Jeffrey Epstein hoax to try to deflect from the massive failures, in particular, their most recent one, the shutdown. But we're in this position because of Donald Trump and the Republican Party.
Yeah, I'm also very confused by the rhetoric of how can Democrats cause this at all, when it's people are well, they're just holding strong because they're trying to get rid of this plan and they're going to make something better. Okay, then present it before you shut down the government for over a month.
Donald Trump, again, spiraling. He's in complete, full-blown panic mode, desperately trying to get people to change their vote to be a no to release it, when he promised, he campaigned, and he said he would declassify, he would just release all the documents out there so that everyone could know once and for all what happened, who was in them, who should be investigated.
Oh, God.
But we've known from, the time of point he became president, that he has been getting cover from Pam Bondi, who said, I have the documents on my desk. I've seen them. They're disgusting. There are over 200 victims. Kash Patel said, and then it became a blame game. Kash Patel said, well, I didn't give him to her. And then she said, well, he needs to give him to me. And then, but even though she said it was on her desk, then Todd Blanche, who used to be Donald Trump's personal attorney when he was in court in 2024, which is its own thing. He's the deputy attorney general to Pam Bondi, who is the attorney general. They're all in cahoots. They're all trying to cover it up, trying to protect Donald Trump from the very thing that we know. He is a fucking no file.
I just don't understand what is so remarkable about a man who is geriatric and can't string two sentences along together that he can get this undying loyalty from educated people. Like, I'm not understanding where the disconnect is. Like, if Marjorie Taylor Greene is able to see that she can differentiate herself from the Republican Party and the MAGA cult, and Andrew Cuomo even is like, get that guy out of here. We don't want to, like, I'm really not understanding why there's these level-headed people who are coming to reason, and like Pam Bondi, like, obviously they know that if Trump isn't in office, they're going to jail, right?
Yeah.
But don't you think you can get like a really sexy plea deal like Ghislaine if you just like actually speak now?
Who, by the way, as all of this was coming up just 2 days or so ago, there were leaks of the commutation or pardon plea that she was now trying to get out of her sentence so that she could become a free woman again. And it's just like, when you run on this idea that you don't know these people, that you didn't know anything about them or what they were doing at your own resort, that you say, oh, well, they're bad people. In 2020, he wished Ghislaine Maxwell well. That should have been a red flag from the beginning. They partied together. They watched young girls together. There have been depositions and testimonies of young women who are victims who have been sexually abused or assaulted by Donald Trump. I think there's over 26 women.
Oh, but Gabe, didn't you know they were only doing that to get money and fame?
Right.
None of it's real, even though you can't name a single one of those women, and none of them are rich, and their lives have actually been ruined trying to seek justice. Right? Because the only true leader we have is Daddy Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Love you, Daddy.
So, yeah, that's where Donald Trump is. He's freaking out. Who knows? Maybe he has a stroke. But who's to say what the news will bring? But, right now it seems to appear as though sometime this week we'll have our new Democrat sworn in. The vote will happen. And then the files get released.
So that's all we had to wait for. And that's why, Mike Johnson wasn't allowing this person to be sworn in, because how is it this insane? We have these files. We know what's in them. We know what is being protected. And I don't understand, like, the red tape and the this and the that. It's like, okay, we have to make sure that Congress agrees that all of these files should be punished. Yeah. Like, the American government is a failure.
We also have to remember that Donald Trump had the FBI, or rather had Pam Bondi instruct the FBI / Kash Patel 24-hour shifts. It was back in March. They went through 100,000 documents, I feel like it was, scanning specifically for Donald Trump's name. Who's to say what was done with those files? I don't know, but I also have to assume that multiple agencies have those files, so you can't really get rid of all of them. Because somebody's got a copy somewhere that will eventually come out. But that should also tell you something else. It's like, why is the DOJ and the FBI specifically scanning for Donald Trump's name before they can release them? And then after they scan them, Pam Bondi and Kash Patel go in front of a subcommittee hearing, and they say they cannot definitively say what Donald Trump is involved in, or where he's mentioned, or what Pam Bondi has been privy to, even though she went on Fox News and told Fox anchors that she had seen the files and the documents were on her desk and there were over 200 victims and it was disgusting and we are going to bring these people to justice. And then they just hit it because they found out that Daddy Trump was in that a ton of times. And look, Michael Wolff is no saint either. The fact that he had the emails and those weren't released because this is correspondence between them.
No, they should all be jailed.
They should all
be jailed.
All complicit in this, especially because Michael Wolff was trying to do some sort of like PR, like, oh, well, if Donald Trump says this, then this is what leverage you have or what you can go forward with, which is like doing PR for a is not what I would be doing. But it shows you that these are conversations that were happening back in 2015.
They're scrambling. I feel like they're scrambling now.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed that we just keep these good vibes going. Yeah. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I truly just think there's going to be some other thing that happens that, now she can't get sworn in. Oh, now we can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane to me that all these people that are such conspiracy theorists that believe that Obama Hussein Obama he's a part of ISIS. And I'm like, okay, you were able to pull really awful theories out of thin air, but now you have like actual fact, proof, and reason that this guy's a convicted felon and he's a pedophile. He's allowing this. And they're like...
And the last thing about Ghislaine Maxwell is the emails that became public today showed that Ghislaine was aware, or that that Epstein was aware of Ghislaine and Trump having a conversation, and all three of them knowing what was going on, and Trump allegedly telling them to stop recruiting from Mar-a-Lago, which directly contradicts the statement that Ghislaine Maxwell gave Todd Blanche during their 2-day private interview, where she said Donald Trump was a saint, he was a great guy, he's a great president, which no one ever asked like what his...
It's giving there's no Warren bossing sense.
Yeah. And in that statement, it says the complete opposite, where it's like, oh, Donald Trump was never around Epstein with this. He never knew about this. There wasn't anything that was done that was bad. So it's like, what's going on here? Because I can't imagine that in 2015, they were anticipating both of these people in jail, one of them being... And then now coming to a point where they have to have a conversation with Donald Trump's personal attorney to get them out of prison. As of filming this right now...
Oh, God.
He's...
No, Adelita Grijalva has now been sworn in. So the 218th vote has arrived, which is why Donald Trump is desperately trying to corral people to be like, switch your vote, switch your vote, switch your vote.
And they're like, no, you dumb.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that all of the women, I'm hoping that all of the MAGA women, specifically Lauren Boebert and Nancy Mace, who say, you got to believe the victim, look out for the women, you got to go after the real predators and the real files. I hope that they do not cave.
I just it ends all of our problems. Not all, it ends a lot of our problems. If we know who is on that list, you're going to prison. And then all the corrupt lawmakers, all pedophiles, all the people siphoning funds to their private offshore accounts where their yachts and their jets wait. I don't understand what they think they are protecting. If you are a God-fearing Christian, which many of the Republican Party claim they are, you should be chomping at the bit, which I will say, at a lot of MAGA rallies, I've seen them, boo, where are the files? Where are the files? Yeah. His empire that he built himself is crumbled.
Yeah. And there will be people who will defend him and say it's all fake, or it's Democrats or hoax or whatever.
It's been fake for the last 15 years.
But now that we are actually at a point of, again, bipartisan, Thomas Massie, who I do not agree with at all, and Ro Khanna, a Democrat, have come together to make a bipartisan bill to release the Epstein files. So this is something that we can all agree on if you are coming to the table with a good faith approach and also not totally indoctrinated into this cult of Daddy Trump, I love him, he can do no wrong. None of that. So hopefully, after her being sworn in, a vote will happen, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, this week, I don't know, in hopes that, Mike Johnson has no more excuses, because now they had to swear her in to now vote on the government shutdown. So I'm hoping that he has no real play here to avoid this vote to release the files.
Oh, so. I'm sure if we give them enough time, they'll find.
I know it's gotta happen. We gotta get this ball
that's
rolling.
Really exciting. I had another talking point, but I feel like it's not really relevant after that exciting bit of news. Tesla is caving. They're paying Elon Musk $1 trillion severance package, right?
Oh, God.
$1 trillion. No, not severance. Just $1 trillion compensation package for his own company.
But he might be on that list.
I don't know if Musk is on it.
He has pictures with him.
He's got pictures.
Epstein?
Yeah.
No. Pictures with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine.
Oh, I would.
But she's a real deal maker, so.
I truly would be surprised if he was on the list, though, because for some reason he gives me really slimy, reptilian, I'm an oil man vibes, but he doesn't give me let me touch your children.
Yeah, he doesn't give had sex vibes.
Well, yeah. Hold on.
What?
He did propose to a woman, or proposition a woman on who was a flight attendant who was there on the flight or on his plane for Tesla, or it might have been SpaceX. I think SpaceX. He basically said, "Give me a hand job and I'll give you a horse."
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, that's all it takes.
Yeah. said no.
Stable and a year feed too? Or?
Yeah. Do I get help?
Yeah, sorry. Are you buying all
Elon, hit us up.
Elon,
it's
I've
just
got
a handy?
really good-
Oh my God.
really good wrist. We know that there's a lot happening right now, and on top of the Democrats they have kind of folded in this healthcare standoff. So from my understanding, the ACA will no longer be extended, or maybe it's still up for debate.
I go back and forth. Initially, I was very much like these, we already knew that there was like 4 of them that were all going to go. So the other 4 that caved total with 8, I was like, man, these are cowards, right?
Yeah.
To do this, especially when you're like, we will not agree to anything unless it puts the American people first with getting ACA subsidies.
Snap, yeah.
But then the other thing I started thinking about was like, okay, well, this debate's going to happen again in January. Well, what's going to happen is in January is when all of the premiums spike. And then the conversation happens again. Will we have another shutdown? It could happen again. We could have another government shutdown. But what at least allows it to happen is now we've had the SNAP benefits is like headline news. Republicans were unwilling to feed people. They were appealing the Supreme Court to say we should not be paying these benefits out. And we shouldn't even be paying half of that, which they were intentionally delaying. And not listening to what the initial...
Does know that MAGA is also on SNAP and like needs assistance? Like, are they aware of these things?
Yeah.
I think they're just punishing like illegal immigrants and white trash people, but like they're literally punishing hardworking veterans, Americans.
Yeah.
Like they're idiots.
I mean, it's also a domino effect. It's like if Republicans are able to get away with this, they're going to take away other rights and benefits that you have. And then at some point, something that you thought only Democrats benefited from or illegal aliens benefited from or whoever that isn't Republicans, you're going to realize, oh my God, my employer benefited from this. So now they can't keep me hired on payroll. It's going to be some healthcare, some food assistance, whatever it's going to be. And then when it comes to January, so coming back to this, the conversation is going to come back. But now that ACA subsidies and SNAP benefits are like headline news over the last 40 days, what is going to happen is people aren't going to be just like not knowledgeable of what's going on. So when January comes along, spikes happen in premiums, which is the whole thing in which Democrats want to protect. And then the new vote is going to happen in January
so you
after.
think it might be strategic in a sense that it's like, okay, if this is really why the government is shutting down, then we'll give you what you want and we'll show you why it's so bad. Is that kind of what we're getting at?
That is ultimate.
I get that.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
been a lot of talk where it's like, well, Trump said this and Trump said this and Trump said this. And the amount of discussions I had where it's like, just give it 6 months.
Yeah,
you're just going to have to wait and see.
And I think a lot of as much as like I hate to see people suffer and experience pain and things like that, there also is this reality that Democrats for years have stopped people from touching the stove. Right? They've stopped America from burning their hand on the stove.
Yeah.
And we are in a position now where it's like not essentially burn it all down, but we do have to let America be like, okay, you said you could be an adult and be trusted with this decision of who's going to be president. And now these are the repercussions of your decision. And so what's going to happen is we're just going to let you touch the stove to realize what that feels like. And as bad as that is, and I hate the fact that people have to suffer and experience this type of pain again, but you have to know like what the detrimental effects of tariffs and stripping over 1 million federal workers without being back paid or forcing air traffic controllers to show up without pay. They've had 3 net zero paychecks so far where they've been. And then just yesterday or 2 days ago, Donald Trump basically yelled on True Social saying that if you don't show up to your air traffic controller job, you will be docked pay or you will lose your job.
Oh, docked pay that they don't get?
Yeah.
Like what are you threatening right now? This is the same thing as like I had a parent figure at one point in my life be like, if you don't come back here, there's going to be severe repercussions. And I was like, all you do is pay my phone bill. So shut it off. And they did. Mm-hmm. And then I was fine. I don't know what he is. He is so insane to me because he literally created this reality. And he's like, what do you mean you guys don't like it? Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I mean, the GOP, the last I'll say on that is the GOP are arsonists trying to put out their own fire.
Yeah. I will say we have seen a huge increase on people defecting, I guess, from the not Republican Party, but from the MAGA mindset. We have influencers who are donating to so many food banks and like really stepping up and using their platforms. And thank God for them, because the profits they make from the videos they film can go towards those, you know. And we also have a content creator. I can't remember her username now, but she's gone viral because she is calling all of these churches in the wake of SNAP being canceled or defunded and asking them for baby formula. And if you haven't seen any of the videos, she has like a baby sound crying in the background of these videos. She called 33 at this point. She's called 33. 9, all but 9, told her to like off.
Yeah.
And the only churches that actually heard her out were mosques and Buddhist temples.
Trump has floated this 50-year mortgage bullshit that is just a terrible idea.
Doesn't make sense.
It's a bad idea. The benefit of it would be that your monthly payments would be less, but you're paying for 50 years with interest.
It's not even the amount of interest you pay on top of the principal, which is like, this is how much this property is worth, $1 million, let's say. And then the interest over that 30-year period, you're obviously paying more the longer you wait out 30 years, less if you pay it up front or more sooner. But when you go 50 years, you are now, and people have done all the calculations on like what it would look like, you are paying well, I mean, like you're almost doubling the amount of interest payments you have to make over the period of time in which you own. And remember, no one ever really owns a house, okay? That is land that technically the bank owns regardless, and they can come after you. The city can come after you. You don't really own it. And so...
Ever?
Not really. You don't actually own it.
What if you own the land?
You don't own the land because it's technically the city owns the land. So you're paying into the taxes for that. You don't actually own the property.
That doesn't make sense.
I know. You don't.
No, because in movies, when the bad guys come to town, they try to buy the land off of the people, and that's why stores fold and little grandma cookie shops go away. So it doesn't make sense, Gabe.
They buy the...
No.
They buy the building. You own the building.
No.
I'm telling you, no one ever really owns their home
and horse
in the end.
And horse.
If you don't, because what happens if you don't make your payments?
They take it.
Now we're getting into the more just ridiculous shit that came out. Trending New York Times articles. It was initially, did women ruin the workplace?
Oh, did we ever?
And then that got a lot of backlash. So then it got changed to, did liberal feminism ruin the workplace? Which was, again, like the general gist of this article was like, women bringing our crazy ideas of not wanting to be sexually harassed and wanting to be treated equally and wanting equal pay and wanting to bring like
just do a
empathy and feminine values to the workplace.
I think I also saw in the article, typically when you change or update an article, especially when you're like a major publication, you're like, update at this time on this day, this was changed. I didn't see anything at the top or bottom of that article that said that they had changed the title.
People have screenshots.
No. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying that the New York Times were like, we didn't update the title
to make it seem less than.
Right.
Yeah.
We have reached a point in history where women no longer need financial independence from men. We no longer need men. We don't want them. We're not seeking them out. And it has caused this mass chaos and this panic of like, women are freer than they ever have. And so when we see things like this and conversations like this start to come out, I know it's because they're scrambling for some semblance of a control in an ideology they originated. Like, yeah, I'm sure there's one white guy who thinks that, this conservative lady just wants to be a mother.
Stickergate. So if you were on Threads, you may have seen this over the weekend. Essentially, a woman who owns a sticker business posted an email she got from a Republican, a MAGA person, criticizing her business and being like, because of your woke liberal views, I'm not going to buy from your company and I'm, boycotting it or whatever. She posts this online, people see it, and they start being like, okay, I'm going to support your business. Like, fuck this. So then she starts posting more emails from this person being like, oh my God, I'm being attacked by MAGA. And people start buying more stickers, and she made something like $6,000 off of these emails. And then people realized that these emails were fake and they had been written by ChatGPT.
Oh.
And then the whole sticker community really lost their minds.
Sticker community as a concept is crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was such a thing as a sticker community.
There's a community for anything.
Oh, yeah.
She may be stealing other people's artwork for her stickers, and if that is the case, we condemn this. And I just want to be like upfront about that. We do not like when people steal art.
Yeah.
People steal our art, and we hate them. Moving on, we have a review on an activity book. Someone said, this activity book is a bit ridiculous. And I absolutely love it.
Ooh, you had me there in the first half.
It kept me thoroughly distracted while I was waiting for my husband to have a minor surgery and was perfect to keep myself from worrying or doom scrolling. I am still making my way through it. It's very silly and very fun. And I just thought this was a pertinent comment as we are all stuck in the constant state of doom scrolling. Attention spans are nothing is good to look at the news anymore. Get a workbook. They're fun. You can color. I don't know what video this was commented on, but the comment I'm responding to today is from SpeedLance07, who says, this is why liberal middle-aged women can't get a date with a man. So
We have a guest who said that coming out with this comment as well.
Yeah. By show of hands, who liberals have struggled to get dates? Lance, buddy, just because you're unfaithful because you're in a cult doesn't mean that the rest of us suffer from your affliction. So, okay, and now for our audio listeners, we're moving on to playing with our Delve decks.
Okay, so I have the Delve Deck Venting Edition, and I'm going to pick a card here that says, who would be the worst people to have at a dinner party?
Republicans. I don't want to spend time with them.
I would one-up you and say contrarians, who, no, that's not what I said. You must not have been listening to me. That's actually not a glass, that's a cup of water. No, that's actually not beef bulgogi. It's pulled pork. Like, okay, that's a valid one, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Or like a MAGA relative, you know?
Well.
And just like not... Like, I'm forced to be there with them, and I'm forced to hear their dumb, indoctrinated praise points for a guy that doesn't know what the he's doing. It's that moment where my wife is like, don't say anything.
I'm going to do, from the original deck. What do you treat yourself to now that you couldn't have as a kid?
I have 3 cats.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have 3 of them.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, what little girl didn't want that many cats? So that's what I got now.
Road trips? You know? Like, you could, like, you know,
yeah.
or just even driving around, you're like, man, I just got to get in the car and just go drive around somewhere, like, think through stuff or whatever. But the freedom of, like, getting in a car and being like, we're taking a trip to go camping, or we're going out of state, or I'm driving around to the city to go whatever.
I think for me, like maybe just getting takeout, like getting food delivered.
Oh.
My family was not big on like going, like we would sometimes go out to eat, but like not actually that often. Definitely weren't getting food delivered ever.
Or like 2 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. So I think
Like
just
around
being,
when we were young.
yeah, like I feel like even though like pizza being delivered or like whatever was like a thing you could do. Yeah.
Okay, and from the Joy deck, what life experience has made you a better version of yourself? Anyway, I would say I hit rock bottom in the sense that I was like a bad person, what I would consider a bad person, like to my friends, and I was just selfish. And I think when you hit that point, you really got to look at yourself and be like, I don't like the way I make people feel. I don't like the way that I'm feeling. I don't like the way that this is making me behave. And so I think reaching a certain point of self-hatred that was so severe, I was like, okay, we've got to switch things up. And so I truly think now that I am kind and understanding and patient, and I don't people over, and I don't do things just on selfish whims because I can.
I will go with international travel. I think makes people better. I know that it's a privilege. I know it's expensive. But I think even going to like different states can be helpful. Going to a different city, like just seeing that like people in another place are truly just like trying to feed their kids and work and live, like that's literally what everyone is doing everywhere around the world. So I think that that's a good experience.
For me, it's instead of not like being a pessimist, but approaching a situation like before I might have like assumed like, oh God, like, you know, this is a pain in my ass or whatever, and assume that it was going to be bad or assume that it was like an inconvenience, you know, and it's like approaching a situation where it's like, okay, let me kind of quickly like split second, like put myself in that person's shoes and kind of understand where they're coming from, as opposed to being like, well, you know, and then like come in like
I would
hot.
never do this.
Yeah.
That being said, if you want to find out about your own formative experiences, you can get your own delve deck at boredwalk.com. Until then, stay tuned. Next week, we might have some fun updates about the Epstein files. We love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out with us. Bye.
Bye.